The ECB leaves rates unchanged. The euro sank this morning, and gold still hovering around those 4-year lows. Jim Wyckoff joins me this Thursday. Jim, good to see you.
Hi, Daniela. Always nice to be with you.
So, Jim, before we talk ECB, let's look at what's happening on the gold front here. And interestingly enough, the COMEX futures were slightly lower this morning, while gold spot prices were modestly higher. What do you make of this, Jim? Do investors just have mixed feelings ahead of U.S. non-farm payrolls?
Daniela, I think you're right. I think we're seeing some backing and filling on the charts, some consolidation. We're seeing maybe a little bit of bargain hunting, some short covering in the futures market, but that's still being offset by the serious weak technical posture that we're seeing at present in both gold and silver. So you're seeing kind of choppy and sideways trading on a near-term basis.
All right, Jim, on to the European Central Bank, where many thought the ECB would make a QE move at today's meeting, but nothing really changed except for the fact that the euro hit a 26-month low against the dollar during the press conference. So what do you make of the meeting here, Jim? Do you think that Draghi should have acted differently to help the European economy?
Daniela, there was no rate change at the ECB meeting, but what the marketplace did focus on, as usual, was the Draghi press conference. His remarks were deemed somewhat more dovish than expected, and that's what sunk the euro, and that's what reversed the U.S. dollar index course. Also, the U.S. dollar index hit a new 4-year high today during the Draghi remarks. So that also it was a mixed bag for gold because the stronger dollar is certainly a bearish underlying factor. However, the continued weakness of the European Union economy and the worries about how the finance ministers are going to deal with that, that's actually a minor bullish factor for gold just due to that uncertainty.
And finally, Jim, I should note that this week, I can't even tell you the amount of emails I received from investors and viewers who are really struggling to decide what they should be doing with gold at these levels. I guess my question to you, Jim, is how long do you think the U.S. economy can withstand this dollar strength?
Well, Daniela, to your first point about investors not knowing what to do, I thought about that a lot this week, too, as gold prices have hit a 4-year low. So when you think about it, when you see the price of gold dropping against the fiat currencies, if you're really a firm believer in gold being the ultimate currency, you shouldn't be really worried about it because it's just, that if things really start to deteriorate in a hurry on a geopolitical basis or otherwise, you're going to see demand for gold surface, and then you're going to those currencies and what they're worth really becomes a secondary factor to holding that physical asset. So that's one thing for the buy and hold guys to think about. Now, as far as the shorter term traders that want to be bullish, certainly they have been hurt by the price downtrend. Now, on your point on the strong dollar, in looking at my longer term charts, I think there may be still some more upside price pressure in the U.S. dollar index, but I think once we approach that 90 level in the U.S. dollar index, I think there is some longer term chart resistance that might halt the rally. But as long as the dollar index continues to rally, and importantly, as long as the crude oil market continues to trend lower, which I think you're going to see both continue to trend in those directions for the near term, you're going to see the upside limited for gold. And like I said last week, it's not going to surprise me if gold moves toward the $1,000 level here in the coming weeks.
All right, Jim, finally, I'm curious to get your Wyckoff market rating for this week. What rating will you be giving gold and silver?
Daniela, I'm giving both gold and silver my lowest ratings of 1. Technical postures for both are just fully bearish. 4-year lows in both commodities. For December COMEX gold, we've got overhead resistance at 1160, solid support at 1100. For December COMEX silver, we've got overhead resistance at this week's high of 1622, solid technical support at 15.
All right, Jim, thank you so much for your thoughts this Thursday. We'll see you next week. And thank you for watching this edition of Technically Speaking with Jim Wyckoff. You can email us at newsfeedback@kitco.com. Also, please remember to register for the Grand Cayman Liberty Forum. Kitco News is headed to the Cayman Islands to cover the conference November 16th to the 20th. There's some really big names who will be attending, including Adrian Day and Peter Schiff and Doug Casey. So we hope you will come out and meet the Kitco News team. You can register at the link below. In the meantime, have a wonderful Thursday.